All right, well, welcome back to the IIY podcast. What up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Tell the people who you are.
I'm Lil Chrxs. I'm a artist. I make primarily rap music. I produce. I've been doing it for, I'd say, rapping about 3 years now.
Okay.
Producing about five. Um, and yeah, I just recently came to New Jersey, but I was living down in New Orleans a
Oh,
couple months. So yeah.
oh, for real. So how you liking it down there?
It's good to be back up north because I was living in Connecticut for a bit. But I miss New Orleans a lot. The
Yeah,
weather, yeah,
yeah, no
everything
shit.
about it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. I feel it, man. How'd you get into producing then? Well, like, what drawed you to that?
I've always been kind of interested in making music. Since I was like 10, I was playing the guitar, bass, even in like middle school and shit like that, I was playing like the bassoon, just like
Yeah, yeah, all them.
um, you know. And then I think when I was like 16, I think, or 15, I think freshman or sophomore year, um, I started taking a digital audio class at
Oh
my
yeah.
high school. And at that class, we would be using Logic Pro X, which is like GarageBand just
Oh
on
yeah, yeah,
steroids.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I was, I picked up on the concepts. I picked up on the
Mhm.
concepts pretty easily, just because like I was already familiar with GarageBand, so I was, producing beats already like ahead of my class when it came to like, making a
Bro.
beat. Um, so and then I stopped doing it for like 2 years, I would say, um, after I got out of high school because I was just starting to start rapping. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So you just kind of trying to figure when you stopped for that 2 years, were you just kind of trying to figure out like what you wanted to do or like what drew you back to the music?
Yeah, it was kind of more of like um I had a really like not bad issue, but like I had an issue with just like seeing my progression
Yeah,
when I was making music. Um, I could never like see or hear when I was making improvements and stuff. So like I felt like I was just in the never ending loop of like
yeah,
mediocrity or whatever. But it was all in my head, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
I look back at it now and I'm like, wow, like from beat to beat, I was making completely different stuff, and
yeah,
like you could see the improvements.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I try and keep that same mindset with my music, and it drives me to keep going.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that, man. Because everything that you do, you just got to keep at it and stay at it, and every year you're gonna get better and better as long as you stay at it. You know what I'm saying? And look at
Of
now, like
course,
you said, you can already see your progress and shit. I bet if you like, look back to when you first started, you'd be like, wow, what the fuck? That's what I was really doing back then. I mean, look at all the shit that you done now, and how much better and everything has gotten. It just blows your mind when you think about that shit.
of course, yeah. Like a thought I've been having like recently is like, you know, if I were to go back in time 3 years whenever I started rapping, and show my old self, my 18-year-old me, um, just my music right now at almost 21, then I think I would surprise myself a lot. And like that would be like enough for me to like think, you know what, I should keep going. And like, I should never doubt myself because,
Yeah,
and I mean, I guess that is what I did. It's just that I had to kind of, uh, sit through like, the thoughts of just thinking you're not good enough, you're not
yeah.
making any improvements, all that. So
Yeah, because it does
yeah,
take a while to fucking, to really get up, and get going, to like a level you want to be at because, like you want to be fucking all the way up here, but you're down here right now, but it takes patience, as long as you stay, give it patience and you just keep working and working, you'll be all right, you're gonna get there, but as long as you don't say fuck this shit, you ain't got nothing to worry about, you know what I'm saying? But
of
that's
course.
what but that's what I feel like, with my brand too, my clothing brand. This is what I do. I do a little podcast, to give the brand a voice about people that are investing and stuff. So it doesn't matter who they are, but Except my daughter over there, my bad. But
It's
you
all
know what
good.
I'm saying. But you just gotta be patient with it. It's not gonna happen overnight. You know what I'm saying. But that's the hard part. Is just being fucking patient. You know what I'm saying.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it'll come. It'll come when it comes, man.
Is there? And you know what? I've seen well, one thing I know when it comes to like um whether it be artists or any kind of old clothing or whatever it may be, people always hate their original stuff, like their early work,
Yeah.
because it's just really raw. It's not polished at all. It doesn't have that certain kind of professionalism to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But the fans of your brand and what you actually do, they love that.
Yeah.
They love it when they can go back and see the original stuff
Yeah.
and see the improvement, because it's got like that novelty to it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Cause I
that's
catch
what I love.
myself doing that shit. I catch myself doing that, with like rappers and shit. Like be like, I want to check out their old shit. It's like, damn, I really fuck with it. I am kind of like this more than now what they got now. But
Right.
it's just different. But I see what you mean. That's for damn sure.
Of
What
course. Yeah.
what artist would you say that kind of inspired you to get into making music?
Um, I guess when I started making music, it was like a couple of artists that I was listening
Yeah,
to. I mean, I've always been into like the very mainstream artists. At the time it was probably like, well, I guess all through high school, and um, I was listening to like Drake or like Future or like Travis Scott or
yeah, yeah,
any of those kind of artists, Uzi. Um, and then towards the end of high school, I started branching off into these like lower or low key artists on like SoundCloud,
yeah,
or
yeah,
the ones that have gotten popular off of SoundCloud and their followings and stuff like that. Um, I guess at the time it was probably like Uno the Activist, Thousand Man Funny, a couple of other artists like that. Um, and as I just started finding more and more music, I draw inspiration from everybody. So
yeah,
like
yeah,
whether it be artists that I like or artists that I don't like, because I can kind of pinpoint what I like about what they do and what I don't like.
yeah,
And
yeah,
whenever I do that, that's when I feel like I can kind of put my best foot forward and just, I guess, create something off of their strengths and their weaknesses
yeah,
and
yeah,
try and put my spin on it.
yeah, yeah.
So, which I guess is art as a whole. Like, you
Yeah, it
know,
is.
we all draw inspiration from each other. It's just like who can express themselves better
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah,
but
I see what you mean. That is pretty fucking dope. I mean, like you said, I mean, that's what it all is because you see that you can see that people sample a lot of shit, from music back in the 80s or 90s,
right,
like in the 2000s, they just, sample it and but then they make it a whole new fucking hit. Then, they make it more of a hit than it was back then, because they found a way to make it better,
right,
or more popular, what I'm saying? Might not be better or whatever, but more
yeah,
popular, what I'm saying? But that's what I like though. I do like the whole fucking, sampling and mixing and dipping into other shit, because then you can make something that's just a whole new fucking art piece, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
of course. And like, in a time like this, you can push the envelope when it comes to making music or whatever you do better than ever before, because before you could probably like, take auto tune for example. Everybody uses auto tune, whether it's like robotic sounding or just to like fix the vocals. 20 years ago, that was like frowned upon, or even 10 years ago, or not 10 years ago, but like, beginning of like
Yeah.
2000s to like maybe 2005 or whenever like T-Pain started really popping off, everybody hated it. They were like,
Mm.
oh, we can't listen to that. That's robot music. You're ruining.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Usher or Neo. I think it was Neo. He told T-Pain that he was ruining hip hop because of auto tune, which 15 years later, look what everybody's using auto tune.
Every
And
fucking buddy.
like like, and that's why I'm never ever gonna say to anybody who's trying to do something different that what they're doing is wrong, because
Yeah.
everybody's, yeah, there's a ask for every seat, you know. Like somebody's gonna like it, somebody's gonna like what you're doing. If you're
Yeah.
doing it, somebody's gonna like it.
Yeah, yeah, that's for damn fucking sure, you know, because look at he started the whole, like you said, if it was T-Pain that started doing it first, he started a whole fucking new trend and like a whole new part of
Yeah,
fucking rap, a whole new fucking an art to it, and people fuck with it now.
yeah,
Heavy, a lot, every
of
artist
course.
almost does that shit, almost every, but not all, but it's there now. It's just another fucking
Yeah.
tool to it's another tool to fucking use, you know.
Hmm. That's
Um,
like, the best part about it though. Yeah, we
yeah,
got so many tools at our disposal right now in a time like this, when technology is good. We can all record our shit on our laptops. We can design our
yeah,
designs on Photoshop. We can just get it sent out to somebody like that. We don't even have to
yeah,
go through like the process of like printing a shirt or like going into a studio and like chopping up some stuff.
yeah.
You know, it's all right there.
Yeah,
So
it's just
just
right,
keep
right to your
creating.
disposal. Yeah, it's just right there for you. You can just like right now, look at what we're doing. You know, like we're doing a call. Like
Exactly.
we don't even have, you don't have to fly to fucking Nebraska. That's where I'm at. You don't even have to fly here. I don't have to fly over to
Word.
where you're at. We can just do it right here. Save us some
Yeah, for
fucking
sure.
money and time. You know, I mean,
Exactly.
that's why it's dope though. You know, because we're able to do this shit with this technology, man. It's fucking insane.
We're able to put this podcast right on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever the outlets
Yep.
may be. We might like 10 years ago, like we would have to be in a damn studio on an AM
Yeah.
radio station or something, or like on a so
Yeah.
it's
I
great.
know it's fucking crazy. What I was gonna
Hmm.
ask you, what motivates you to do what you do every day and keep going?
Of like, I don't have
Oh,
that much of a fan base right now. But just knowing that if I were to, um, that there's always gonna be within my fan base, like somebody's like keeping like make a connection with my character, if that makes
yeah,
sense, through like my music, or whether it be through my social media, that there's a connection that needs to be uh tended to, like, and cared for like a child.
yeah,
So, if whether that be I'm putting out content or I'm putting out just tweets, just straight up banter, or just
yeah,
something
yeah,
to interact with the fans, I just gotta keep that relationship going. And
yeah,
that's like number one for me, because the second that they know that it's gone for good is when they'll miss you. You
yeah,
see, look at artists that pass away, or look at like um designers that stop like making clothes, and then they come back in trends and they're not making any more clothes, so their clothes are more of grails. Like, so that's why you just kind of gotta do your best to keep that connection always there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because even when you're gone, it's still gonna be there. That's for
Of
damn
course.
sure. Even
Yeah.
stronger then. Even stronger then. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna really fuck with it then. That's just how it always
Hmm.
goes with everything. Even from music to fucking this, my clothing shit. It's just like it's just crazy like how much love you get once you're fucking gone. But it's fucked up. But that's just the way it fucking always seems to go.
Yeah, it's a shame, but like, you know, people love to have something that they can't have anymore, whether it be
Yeah.
like, um, you know, music, or if you're like in a relationship with somebody you just got out of it, you
Mm.
miss them more because they're not around. Having it at your disposal is like you take it for granted a lot,
Yeah.
in the moment, and like you never know when you're in the good times, but
Until they're
when
done.
you're there, yeah,
Yeah.
like
Until they're gone.
exactly, when they're gone, you'll know, and you're gonna regret not cherishing it as much. So
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that, man. I know what you mean.
yeah.
How many songs have you dropped? Do you know? Do you have like a number?
um I don't have an exact number. I do have like I have well, so since I've had my SoundCloud in 2018, I've got maybe like 45 or 50 songs total,
Damn.
I think.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a good number.
so yeah, thank you. But I've been kind of like really hesitant with like releasing my music, which I feel like is kind of shooting myself in the foot. On one hand, I want to put my best foot forward and like not go quality or quantity over quality.
Yeah.
But then again, part of me is like, this has to be documented, like my progression, you know,
Yeah.
whether it be like me just dropping something for my fans just to hold them over to the next project or until the next big single or whatever I might do. I'm robbing them of that. And in turn, I'm not getting myself any progression just
Well, have
because
you?
I want to hold on to music.
So, think about this though. Like, see, Kendrick Lamar, he ain't dropped shit for 3 years, right? I mean, but
Right.
when he drops, everybody goes crazy. He don't lose no fans, but the thing is, I mean, he's quality. You know what I mean? That's what you
Mm-hmm.
definitely fucking want though, dude. Like, I mean, you don't want the quantity, man. I mean, you obviously. I'm not telling you what you want to do, but I'm saying like quality is definitely the fucking way to go. I mean, because look at like, I mean, Kendrick Lamar ain't dropped shit in 3 years. I mean, that's what is crazy. But when he drops, everybody fucks with it. It's not like he's gonna lose his fans or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But that just even makes them want to fuck with it more because obviously they're gonna know it's good. You know?
Of course. I think with I guess in the stage of like where I'm at, like my followers are like real like hip hop artist standards. You know, I have like 120 followers on SoundCloud right now. I think in total, since I've released my projects on Apple Music, I've gotten like I think 18,000 on Apple Music and like 6,000 on Spotify, somewhere around
Damn.
there. So kind of low numbers, but like for me, I'm like really proud of it.
Yeah.
Um, but like getting back to that point about Kendrick, um, if you're an artist like me, where you're just at a kind of a low point, like in your follower base, and you just kind of gotta do something, like throw whatever at the wall and see what sticks. I
Yeah.
think that's like a good way of going about it. And then once you have the follower base, then you can pretty much make that decision and be like, yeah, I can build the hype by not releasing some music for 2 years, 3 years. Look
Yeah.
at fucking Frank Ocean or whatever. He dropped
Yeah.
a project in 2012 and then
That
didn't
was
drop
it.
until 2016.
It's a lot better, I think. Go ahead, say hello a few times.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, yeah, way better. Okay,
Ooh.
that's cool. Okay, let me see. Okay, so we left off. You were talking about, you were explaining the Kendrick thing to me a little bit. So, what were you saying? Like, so you can't really like compare that to like your situation. That's what you're saying, right?
Give or take. I mean, like, I think when when you're an artist starting out, you're trying to do your own thing, and when you're just kind of trying to document your your journey per se, um, and you've got fans that want to have content to listen to, I think like it's good to have as much stuff put out, um, even if they're duds. You see what works, see what doesn't, and then they don't have to stay on your profile forever. You
Yeah,
can
you can
private
just delete
them.
them. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So um, I guess like, and then once you develop that much of a fan base, you can just pretty much go from there and drop selectively or just drop as much as you want.
yeah. I
And
see.
yeah,
I see what you mean. Yeah, so you just basically, you just kind of put all that music out there, throw it at the wall, and see what sticks, and then, you don't really fuck with it like that, and other people don't, then you need to just take it down.
Yeah,
Because
of
like you said,
course.
it's not gonna be on there forever. That is pretty good too, though. But I mean, how many mixtapes or projects or anything? How much have you dropped? Albums or
So
anything?
on Apple Music and Spotify, I've had three tapes.
Yeah,
Um, I think on SoundCloud, I'm at like maybe like seven or eight. I think around there. Um, this is like a couple song mixtapes, like 3 to 5 song tapes or whatever.
yeah.
Um, so it's not like anything too crazy. Um, but it's still um content. So
What is
as long as
your
it's
I'll go ahead.
no, yeah, as long as it's just getting dropped, pretty much. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is your favorite one you'd say, or your most popular one?
Um, I would say as far as like my favorite and most popular, my favorite would probably be my my debut album on Apple Music, Chris Alexander. It's 10 songs, 24 minutes. But stylistically it all kind of has like that same um consistency all around. Um and it's I think just off of its streams, like at the beginning, it took off pretty well on Apple Music. Um but I would say as far as my favorite, um off of like maybe just the high points would probably be my most recent. Um, not like taken away from any of the other songs on it, but I think like the high points on my most recent project, Christopher, with Voodoo Doll and Grand Tour. Um,
Oh yeah, I
you know,
listened to those ones. Yeah, I like those
I
ones
would
too.
thank you. I would be much more um, open to showing somebody that
Yeah,
compared
yeah,
to my original um, album, and
yeah,
it's just more of like a quality thing. Um, my mixing has gotten better, my writing has gotten better, um, objectively, um, compared to when I dropped my project the beginning of last year, because it was like a bunch of songs from like 2019, early
yeah.
2019. So, um, but yeah, everything on that new project is pretty fresh. And
When
yeah,
when do you plan to like? Are you like still? Are you? Do you have like a certain time or sometime like when you want to drop like a full on album? Like, is that something that you'd want to do? Like, are you like building up to, or like an official like album? Like, when do you want to do like, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing.
right. Um, Honestly, I've been kind of up in the air with that. Um, as far as like a full length project, just because I think right now, as far as like it's very contradictory, like how my mind works. But like, I want to drop as much new music as possible, just because it's different than what I have out right now. But then, then again, I think it would be harder for me to promote my music if I'm dropping more and more and more music. Like it's
Yeah,
harder to drop like a or to promote a 10 song mixtape um compared to like the 2 songs off of my most recent. Um
yeah. I see what
so
you mean. Yeah, yeah,
but I honestly definitely should drop soon, just like another tape. I was planning on probably at the beginning of this year. I had asked my fans what would be a good schedule um, for me to drop, or like what should I do as far as
hmm
like a drop, as far as you know getting to like a full length album. And somebody has said uh, drop within the first 3 quarters, like little mixtapes, boom, 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 and then at the end of the year, put your best foot forward and drop a full length project, and then you can go from there. um, which I think is definitely possible. Um, but then again, I feel myself kind of like it. I can't really stick to a stylistic um, direction when it comes to my music if I'm gonna have it on a full tape, because usually the way that my creative process has been, it's just been more of like trying out different stuff. So if I was gonna drop another project, it would be more of like a playlist of like, oh, here's Chris on a soul beat. Here's Chris doing some screaming stuff. Here's
Yeah,
Chris doing some experimental stuff. Here's Chris on a drill beat.
yeah, yeah,
So it doesn't. It's not like consistent with its style. They're all good songs, I would say, for the stuff that I have like in the works. Um, but it just doesn't. It doesn't flow, if that
yeah,
makes sense. So
yeah. I see what you mean. But I mean, it sounds pretty dope, though. I mean, to have an album that's not just one fucking thing. It'd be
right,
different mix of everything. And that's what's
right.
pretty fucking cool too. I mean, that's a whole different way to go than the traditional album. I mean, I think that'd be pretty fucking dope to do, really. I mean, if you did some shit like that, I think fuck it, that'd be dope as fuck.
I'll definitely take that into consideration just because yeah, like what I've been planning on doing actually, so I've been getting back into producing recently. Um and I'm relatively proud with like what I've got, just because I think one of my original knocks with my production when I was coming up, I'm saying, but like when I was first starting out making beats, was that the mixing on it just sounded like it was a garage band type beat instead of like a straight up like beat that you would find like on a song. So it kind of it kind of made me like a little discouraged at the fact that it didn't have that authentic sound to it. Um, but as I've gotten better with mixing my vocals and like my masters on songs that aren't produced on my own beats, I can use those same tactics, and I can pretty much make somewhat of a like at least an on par
Yeah, yeah,
mix with anything you'd find on YouTube. Um, so, but like what I want to do is I want to make my next project all produced by myself, or at least somewhat produced by myself, and then somewhat YouTube beats or whoever else I collaborate with,
yeah,
and have it all transition song to song. So
yeah,
like, you know, say if this song is like a experimental song, and it transitions into like this kind of like disco kind of song,
yeah,
it would be cool, just
yeah, yeah,
because my favorite project is The Life of Pierre 4 by Pierre Bourne. He's a producer, but he does his own like rapping thing.
yeah,
And one thing that I love about it is that it's like almost an hour long album, but all of the songs transition into each other. So it's like I kind of have like the feeling of listening to the album front to back instead of
yeah,
just listening to one song, because one, it sticks out like how it like transitions towards the end of the song, and two, that it just feels a little bit more rewarding. So if I can capture that same essence and apply it to my own music, I think a lot of like my fans would actually appreciate it.
yeah, dude, that'd be fucking insane. Like that, I've never even heard of that, but that'd be really fucking cool too. It'd be a dope ass way to do it because just to hear how the beat ends at the end and then how it transitions to the fucking next song, that's
Right.
creative right there. That's a whole fucking art piece right there too, man. I mean, that'd be
Yeah.
dope as fuck too. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can do it. I mean, you can do it both ways. I mean, you can literally do anything because this isn't going to be your only fucking one you drop. you're gonna keep
for
dropping more.
sure.
So this is just one of them. That you can do. I mean,
Of
that's
course.
what's dope because you can just keep doing more and more. I mean,
Yep.
the possibilities are unlimited. You just do
Mhm.
whatever.
Of course.
Um, so like, what is your process? When you're coming up with songs, like how does the beat come to your head or like, what do you usually do?
So usually whenever I go on YouTube or something for a beat, I just kind of search up a specific type beat. Um, and if I listen to a song within the first 2 seconds, I'll know whether or not I like it, or at least a beat, whether or not I like it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
kind of like how it is with me. If it doesn't immediately strike my attention, I don't think it would immediately strike somebody else's.
yeah,
So, um, so I guess I'll listen to it. If the first 2 seconds are promising, I'll keep listening. If the drums are good, if the arrangement's good, the 808s are good, everything's good, I'll add it to my playlist of beats that I have on my YouTube, and then I'll go from there. And then usually, whatever I do when I make a song, I just kind of quite literally just like download the song or the beat, and then just kind of mumble melody and
yeah, yeah,
like a flow onto it, and just throw some auto tune and just see how it sounds. So then I go from there, honestly. And then everything else, I just kind of write bar for bar. I'm like, okay, this would be cool here. I write it, and then as I say it out loud, I'll probably notice something like, oh, wait, I can flow this word or like this cadence differently. And I can do, um, I don't know, I can probably throw in like a pause or
yeah,
just something. And, those little things
yeah,
add up.
yeah,
And those are the little things that um, most people would uh, either overlook on like their first listen, but if somebody really likes a song, that could probably be the thing that they fixate on and they love about the song. So I try and strive for that as much as possible. Having these little, um, I would say, little highlights within the song,
yeah,
just like just throw them in there and see what sticks. And
yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense. Because there's certain parts of a song that will, like you said, stand out, and that's what is gonna draw them back to play that song over and over because it's in their fucking head. You know what I'm saying? So like, once you like figure out, it's usually the chorus, or just like
Mm-hmm.
a line, or just like a bar, but you just got to figure out which part works, and that's what's just gonna keep playing in their fucking head, even they like it or not, they're still gonna fucking, it's still gonna be in their head, whatever it may fucking be. Just those little things, they add up, and then I mean, it just sticks in the head. It's like a fucking just a melody. You just keep hearing that shit.
Of course, they're like earworms. Like, if you got like, even if it's like a really like catchy but like annoying hook, like I say annoying, but like, just kind of like really unorthodox, just kind of, uh, you would think it's like a bit pushing the envelope, but like it's catchy.
Yeah,
That's like the kind of stuff I like.
yeah,
And because that's the stuff that I guess has more, in my mind at least, it has a bit more shelf life, just because if you're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, copy and paste, and just filling the same or following the same formula, you just pretty much just become one of the next people that
one of
are
the
just
night.
like, you know but if you're doing something the slightest bit different, but it's that slight difference that can stand out from the rest of the crowd, then everybody's gonna look at you, whether it be good or bad. They're gonna still look at you.
Yeah, that's how it always goes too. But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you gotta have a little bit of your own fucking style though. Like like you said, I mean, you just have something to stand out from just a little, you know, obviously stay with the style and the, you know, the time, the shit, but you just got to put on your own twist to it, you know. And
Of
then, like
course.
you said, it's going to be more shelf life. You're gonna last longer and stay relevant longer, you know, instead of just falling off when the next fucking trend comes. You know what I'm saying? Because rap changes all the fucking time, you know.
Of course. And like the same thing goes with clothes and stuff like that. You know, if you're able to do something that, even if it's something that somebody else did, but like you're able to put your twist on it so it can be that much more special and unique to your brand, that's enough for somebody to look at your brand and be like, hey, you know what? I fuck with that. That's
Yeah,
cool. That's that shit that I like, you know, like, and that's it. Honestly, building that kind of connection, like I said before, that kind of connection with your fans and your supporters of your brand, that's key because they can't find that from anybody else. Like, especially when you're starting off like brand, when you're a little guy, you're able to make those connections a lot better than, say Gucci and like somebody buying some Gucci, like, you know. So
yeah. Because I mean, once you're, you know, you're like, you're at the bottom. You know, you're coming up. You know, you're gonna listen to everybody's, you know, input and shit. You know, and you can either take it or you can leave it. I mean, for me, like, I mean, it could go with both of us. You know, for me, like I always listen, you know, like, you know, to the people that, you know, really fuck with it, and then, you know, they give me some critiques or whatever the fuck you call it, and like I'll take it in consideration and I'll do it. And you know, the same to goes to the music, man, too. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, like you wouldn't change your whole style just based off of one person. You know, same to me.
right,
You know, that's why, you know, I just basically for me, I want to do something for me with my clothing brand, and if the people want like fuck with it, you know, that's great. You know, that's awesome, and I really hope they do. You know, but you know, I'm not gonna change my whole style just based off of what, you know, a few people are gonna say. You know, because they're not everyone else. You know what I'm saying?
of course. Yeah, you gotta do what's best for you first, regardless of like if you, because even if you are the artist and you do have fans to take care of and to put out content or whatever you have, then you're not going to be able to put out your best stuff if you're not fully invested in it.
Yeah.
And if you're not invested in yourself, like your clothing,
There it is. There you
uh,
go. Gotta say it.
exactly, yeah. But it's true. You have to. You're able to put your best foot forward when you know what's good for you,
Yeah.
and then everybody else will see that because that's the kind of thing that radiates. They see that somebody is willing to do what's best in their mind and
Yeah.
not follow like the safe, like take the safe route and follow like a trend or whatever and
Yeah.
follow the herd. You do your own thing. You always stand out and be good.
Yeah. And another thing too, you know, like people, they're not gonna. I mean, you gotta. You know, no one's gonna be as dedicated to your music or my brand as much as I am. You know,
Of course.
so that, I mean, that's got to be the mindset. You know, they can say whatever, and you know, whether it's good or bad, you know, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just you got to move forward with what you know is best for your brand or you're being an artist, and just move forward with it, because they're not, they can just say whatever they want because it doesn't mean shit to them, because it's not really, they're not a part of it at all. They don't know what you think about every day. You know, they don't know what goes through your head and how serious, you know, you take yourself. You know, to them they can just think, oh, he's just doing it for like a little side gig or some bullshit like that. You know, but
Exactly.
they don't know that, you know, like how much you just, this is, you know, this is what we want to have for our fucking careers.
Of
Mine will
course.
be this brand shit, and yours is being an artist, man. Right now we got jobs. You got a job or what? Right, you got a
Yeah, I
day
got it,
job,
man.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
every day we were at these, you know, our jobs, and for me, I'm sitting there thinking of new fucking ideas or new things that I can do for my fucking brand. I don't know about you, but man, I bet you when you chilling, you probably at work and lyrics and beats are fucking coming through your fucking head, right?
Of course, like I do Uber Eats and DoorDash full time,
Yeah,
uh, and sometimes on the side I do like landscaping and snow removal and stuff like that.
yeah,
But nonstop, I'm in the car 10, 12 hours a day. I'm listening to beats. I'm writing. I'm listening to my own music, just critiquing everything that I'm doing.
yeah,
I never like sometimes I'll listen to other people's music or just like listen to um just music to just draw inspiration from or just to vibe out.
yeah,
But I can't let any opportunity slide.
yeah,
Um and like you said before, like about the point where nobody is your biggest fan or but you
yeah,
kind of thing. Um because if you stopped making close tomorrow, or if I stop making music tomorrow, nobody's gonna be more hurt about it than yourself.
yep,
Like, if you have to put that down and be like, it's time to go. Like it's like I can't take care, or I can't do what my thing. Like what I don't want to. I can't even speak right now. I
yeah,
can't do what I want to do right now, so I have to stop. And that's the type of shit that hurts more than any fan can really expect, because they can just listen to another person's music. You
yep,
really can't, like, if you, or they could just buy somebody else's clothes.
yep,
Like you as a designer, or me as an artist, like if we decided to take a step away from what we're doing, it's gonna eat away at us. It's gonna be like, damn, you know and that lack of not being able to do anything, whether it be like from I don't know, say, I don't know, lack of funds to fund whatever you got, or like lack of inspiration, because like I've hit that road before. Um, it's it sucks. It
yeah,
makes you feel like you're like not doing yourself a justice. You're not able to do your fans a justice, and it feels like defeat.
yep,
But the number one thing to keep going is the fact that you have this dream that you're set on. You have this goal that you want to get done, and you really can't stop yourself from getting that, because nobody else is going to get to it for you.
yep,
So, like, whether you're working your day job to fund um, your hobby that you want to turn into a career,
yep,
that's the best way of going about it. I say, like, yeah, I've seen people fucking move to California with $5 in their pocket and be like, I have $1 in a dream. I'm gonna go out there and make music. And then they're on Skid Row with everybody else that wants to do the same shit. As long as you're being responsible with your shit and you wanna, what you want to do with your brand, then the sky's the limit.
yep.
If you can make a plan for yourself, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, and I feel that, man, because we gotta have a some kind of plan, some kind of money coming in, and all that shit, So like right now, we're forced to have these jobs like that we don't want because I mean, obviously we need them. We don't like really want them for as a career because we want this as a career. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's our full time job that we got to deal with right now. But one day, this will be our fucking full time job. What we really want. Yours
Of
is
course.
rapping, mine's doing this clothing stuff. But I mean, it's just, it does get stressful and overwhelming trying to balance it all. You know what I'm saying? Because if if I'm working, I'm trying to think of new shit to come up with. Like I gotta write it down right
Yeah,
away,
of
or
course.
else I will forget it and I'll never think about it again.
Yeah,
But if I was just chilling at home and actually working on it, I'd have time to fucking sit out there and draw the whole fucking design, write out everything. But I don't have the opportunity because I'm at work, So I feel like I'm cheating myself out of my brand and fucking the shit up because I have to work. I gotta make money. You know what I'm saying? But
of
it
course.
ain't always gonna be like that. But it's just tough right now. It's gonna be tough for a while, but it's gonna be worth it.
Hmm. Yeah. One thing I remember from when I was doing warehouse work last year, I was working at FedEx,
Yeah.
and I so at the FedEx hub that I worked at, we're not allowed to have our phones on us.
Yep.
So I was like, yeah, privacy reasons. So I was like working towards the end of my shift. I started like freestyling in my head, just like these lyrics and stuff and this
Yeah.
melody. And I'm like, damn, like I just like made like a cool little like punchline in my head. And I just keep writing in my head as I'm working. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I had my phone. But
Yep.
I was like, you know what? I can't forget this. So like, I'm replaying it in my head and replaying it in my head, like, until the end of my shift. And like, I have to put my scanners back and shit like that. I have to walk all the way to my to the parking lot and just like replay it in my head, replay it in my head, get into my car, unlock my phone, and just like make a voice memo of it, me singing it out
Yeah.
loud. And I'm like,
Finally, now you don't have to
finally,
fucking do it no more.
like exactly.
Fuck.
Now I can put it, now whenever I go to record this, I can put my idea to life
Yeah.
instead of losing it because I've lost countless ideas and I regret it.
Same. Same, man. Fuck. So you know what I do now? I carry a little notebook on me. I got this
Yeah,
little cheap ass one from the dollar store, just this little ass motherfucker, and I carry a pen, and I carry it in my pocket, and I roll around with it all day, every day. So yeah, I ain't got a trip about not having it. An idea slip away. Whatever I'm doing, I'll take a minute. I'll be like, give me a minute. I'm writing this down, and then I'm good, and I'll just go about my day. And I'll be going through this notebook. I'll be like, what the fuck is this? I don't even remember writing this, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad
yeah,
I did,
exactly.
because
Yeah, and
they slip away just like that. They come to you and then boom, they're gone. But if you don't write them
yeah,
down, you lose those opportunities, man. You really
and
do.
the number one thing that I can like I know for certain, if there's something that you write down, like say if it's in a notebook or like it's just recording it and putting it in your library just to sit in the back burner, just keep it there. Don't like there's gonna be a time when you see it again and you're gonna be like, wow, this was something that I did. And then
Yeah,
you can put your full idea and full, um, attention towards it
yeah,
instead of like being like, ah, I don't like this, delete, or
yeah.
just rip it out
It
of the
all
notebook. Like,
it all has a certain time to come out. When it's fucking time,
exactly,
it'll shine. But
of
sometimes
course.
it ain't right. It's not, the time ain't right. But you can come back to it maybe a month, year later, whatever it is. But it's still gonna get used most of the time.
Of course.
No reason to delete it. We can always get
Of,
more fucking notebooks. We can always fucking record more voice memos, or go get another fucking USB to save all that shit on. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
We can always get more memory for
There's never
anything. You know what I'm saying?
it's never enough. You got
Yeah.
like the more ideas that you have, the better. Even if they're all like slightly similar
Yep.
or whatever, as long as they're being written down or logged in some way,
Yep.
then there's always going to be a use for it.
Yeah. I feel it. I really fuck with that. That's because that's what I'm saying. It's dope that I hear you say that. You just play that shit in your head over and over and over because
Yeah,
I've done that shit before, not as much because I get busy and I'd be be like, oh fuck, and I'd be mad at myself. God damn it, but so that's why I said I started carrying the notebook. But like I feel that. That's fucking dope.
yeah, of course.
Who would you say is your top five artists right currently?
So I guess so. It's like it's always changing. Um, I guess like a consistent top five that I've had for like at least the past 2 years, like this year and last year. Um, one, myself. Always gotta be
Number
myself.
one,
Oh,
number one. Because you probably bump
it's
your music all day. You said you go in there for 12 hours, man. You bumping your own fucking shit, man. Fuck. I feel like
yeah.
you need to listen to it yourself.
But that's the way you gotta be. Like
Yeah.
if you're not your favorite artist, then you're not you're not anybody's favorite artist.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like it might be like a little bit of like a selfish outlook at it, but like it's true. If
Yeah.
you're not taking pride in what you see and what you create, and you're like, this is mine. Like I relate to these lyrics, I relate to this design, I relate to this, that. And third, because I created it, I put the pen to the paper, then nobody else will feel that way because it's inauthentic at
Yeah.
that rate. So two would probably be like Pierre Bourne. He's a, like I said, producer, um, frequent collaborator with like Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi Vert, um, you know, a bunch of popular rappers nowadays. Um, three, probably ASAP Ant. He's a
Oh
former
yeah.
member of ASAP.
He's not in it no
Um,
more. Or what?
yeah, nah, he left I think a couple years ago just to do his own solo stuff, and I actually love his solo stuff a lot.
I listened to one of his songs from back in the day. Fuck, it was popular because they had a on YouTube. It's like half of Trillmatic, and then the other song is I don't know. Have you heard it? Like the music video, it's like half of Trillmatic, and then the other half of the video is ASAP Ant. Fucking, he's in like the music video is like he's with like I think it's like Chinese girl or some shit. I don't fucking know, but it is fucking good. I don't remember the name of it, but it's been a long. Dude, it came out like 5 6 years ago. I don't fucking remember, but it was dope.
But yeah, I'm not sure, but I do know that he has been like I'm not too big into like his older music, like when he was like first started out rapping for ASAP, but I do like yeah, like I said, that's an artist that you can see like the progression like from the start, and like you play some music from 6 years ago and compared to his stuff now,
You can tell.
excuse me, yeah, it's like it's the quality is better overall. Everything is better about it, even if like you don't necessarily like the new music that he's putting out. It's objectively better because like the mixing, the vocals, the way he projects himself, he sounds more confident in his music than he did years ago. And that's the type of stuff that goes kind of like it flies under the radar with most people. Like they know that it's better, but like they can't like let go of the fact that whether it be like for him or like any other artist, um, artists progress forward no matter what, or like whether you're making music or you're making clothes or you're just drawing, you're always progressing forward. You're never regressing in a way. Like you might be thinking that you are, but as long as you're making music and you're still doing or whatever you're doing, uh, you're always gonna progress. Like you might think that, there's a lot of like artists or um, designers or whatever it may be that you can see that their newer stuff is in a way it seems like it's less quality, but then again, how would you know if it's less quality without them putting it out?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes
Which,
sense.
you know, and that's why I say never stop creating. Like, regardless if you're putting out some BS, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna like it
Yeah,
always.
especially if you're liking it too.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody
well,
else can
that's,
roll with.
yeah, like, and I think like when artists start to lose themselves is when they know that they're not confident with themselves. So
Yeah,
that's when, if you're not confident in your abilities to put something to life, then that's when you start slipping, and that's when people start noticing that you start slipping.
yeah.
Like, there's always been the knock of like these rappers that just, they used to make such good music, but now all they do is just fucking drink lean and, pop Percocets, and now all they do is just mumble over beats and shit like that. Is it because of the drugs, or is it because the drugs are kind of clouding their judgment of like what they want to do?
Could be. I mean, very well
Like,
could be, man. I don't know.
yeah. So,
Makes
yeah.
sense though, man. Who was your number four then?
It would probably be this. So there's a group of kids in Detroit that rap about scamming, like
Yeah.
credit card scamming. They do it on these really offbeat or well, these like really nice like 90s style beats, like kind of
Oh shit.
disco beats,
Yeah.
but they rap off beat and they have like a bunch of like punchlines and stuff like that. It's really acquired taste. It's funny though. They're called Shitty Boys. Like literally, so they honestly like I listen to so much of their music just for my own I debunk their music so much and think of like their music so analytically that I'll just listen to their punchlines. I'll listen to the way they formulate a sentence and like have that rhyme scheme fit within a bar. Um, just little stupid stuff like that you would think would be just me overthinking it, but that's the kind of stuff that you gotta apply to yourself.
Yeah.
Um, and then five is probably Gunna. Um, I've always been a fan of what he's been doing, and like he's he's a consistent artist. So that's all I gotta say.
That's dope, man. That's fucking dope. What kind of? So I mean, you talked about it a little bit earlier, like, but so what kind of style are you trying to project? You said a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, I wanna I I think right now I'm in that stage of not really knowing what I want to do with my music. Like it's more of like I can say I don't know. Say I want to. I'll look up a Travis Scott type beat.
Yeah.
I can sing on the song and make a Travis Scott sounding song, and it could probably sound sonically good and like it's probably formulated right, but it's not necessarily my own.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, I'm kind of in this stage of just figuring out what I want to do,
Yeah.
whether it be like for my music or just myself in general, my life. Um, so I do what I am kind of interested in doing is so I want to start dabbling with it, see what's up. Um, but so Playboy Cardi, he had recently released the album on Christmas, the same day that I had dropped my project. Um, and it was this really like punk, gritty um, project, really controversial and like kind of got some critical acclaim, some not. Really controversial though, just because it's not aligning with what he does. But I was listening to what he was doing on what people have done with with adding like a metal beat to his trap beats and stuff like that. And I think like it's really groundbreaking kind of stuff. Like if he was using some really gritty punk metal guitar kind of beats on his album the same way that these fans are making remixes of his music instead of like what he dropped, it would have gotten so much more praise. Like it would have been looked at as groundbreaking. It would have been looked at as like, yo, he is pushing the envelope of like, you know, bridging punk rock with, you know, trippy hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, he's doing this groundbreaking thing. And like I admire that. So like, if I whether it be like uh some punk rock and some trippy like hip hop or even what I've made before. I actually have a song that I'm just kind of sitting on. It's it's like a beat of like a 90s style beat, like a Shitty Boys
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of song. It's really like disco funky kind of sounding stuff, but like it's got auto tune vocals and like nice melodies and like fast flows and stuff like that. And I I call that glam rap because like back in like the 80s they had glam metal I guess which was like Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Kiss, those really like
Yeah,
big
yeah.
hair metal bands, and you know, it was really pushing the envelope back then. So I think that would be the kind of thing that I might go for
That'd be
as
pretty
well.
fucking dope. That would be pretty fucking cool. To put some rock and shit in there, man. Heavy metal, like you said, like, dude, that'd be a completely different style, to put in there. I mean, you can definitely fucking do it, man. I mean, you'd probably be. I mean, like you said, there's not a lot of people that would do that style right now, right? You said that you're aware of. So I mean,
Uh, yeah,
you,
there's definitely like some trap metal subgenre, but like not like in the way of like say a commercial artist like
yeah,
Playboy Cardi or like say Gunna or Lil Baby or one of those kind of play like if they were gonna make a song on like something very very experimental like a guitar beat where it's really gritty and um like punches hard and stuff, then it would be looked at like shit. That's it. That's pushing the envelope, and some people might not like it at all, which is the case with Playboy Cardi's most recent project. But honestly, if you've got people that don't like it, that's a good thing because that means that you're able to step away from what you've been doing before and pretty much try something new.
yeah, I see what
So
you mean. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, whenever you try something new, people are gonna be like, "What the fuck is he doing?" You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly,
Like, then they're gonna be like, "What the fuck's wrong with him? Why is he changing?" I mean, but if you never change, I mean, how the fuck do you expect to keep relevant, or like to even really? It's not really like you're putting anything new out. It's just like the same shit over and over.
exactly. Like, and then from the fans' perspective, they're just gonna be listening to your old music
Yeah,
and seeing it and or listening to it and being like, damn, like I wish you made music like this instead of like oversaturating what you're doing right now. Always innovate.
yeah,
If you're somebody who only makes beat or makes songs on these types of beats, then branch out to these types of beats. Do this different on your songs. Use this like that much more emphasis in your voice and like your range, um, so people can go through your discography and be like, he is progressing. He is not, staying stagnant with what he's doing.
yeah. And you're branching out to different shit, so you're gonna get more people. You're gonna get different people's attention that do fuck with that, and that then you're gonna get new fans. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's just gonna, you're not just gonna lose a bunch of people. You're still gonna gain other new people that are, gonna try it. Because you tried something new. So you're gonna get someone else's attention.
Of
You know?
course, and not to mention, like if you are always innovating, you have more of an influence to your fans or
Yep.
whoever might listen to your music to innovate off of your innovations.
Yep.
So if you are the one doing, I don't know, like I said before, the trap metal thing, and you're using your range, and I don't know, you're doing something different so you can stand out from the rest. Like say, throw on like a bunch of like spacey autotune and just like rap off beat. I don't know, just something like that. There's gonna be people that are gonna listen to that and be like, shit, there needs to be more people doing this kind of music. Like he
Yeah.
can't be the only one doing
Yeah.
this. So, which
But if you do master some kind of style or some shit like that, and you're the only one that can do that, I mean, imagine like how much attention you will fucking get. You know what I'm
of
saying? Because
course,
you're gonna be the only one that can differentiate yourself from everyone else. But I mean, that's definitely fucking hard, in that fucking particular line of work, because it's just a lot easier to get access of everything that everyone else got. But it's still dope, you know.
same principle though applies with designing clothes.
Yep.
Like, if you're able to like if you're able to have something that's like take a Raf Simmons or like Montclair, for example. Like I've seen designs where they're using like very very I can't think of the word like really Nordic like kind of they use like fur and like kind of war combat really uh look to it, and it's dope to me. I find that like really dope because it's taking the original I guess ideas of when people had to hunt for their clothes back then,
Yeah,
and now it's bringing it into a kind of like a fashion uh light right now in a world where we don't have to hunt for our own stuff. We don't have to, do this or that just so we can get some warmth on our body. So like it
yeah,
just looks dope. It's like we're pushing the envelope by getting in touch with our root, getting in touch with our roots.
yeah, yeah.
So like it's I always admire that.
No, yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool though. I mean, like you said, I mean, because like, so then you can obviously say you want to sell clothing that's like you said that you know the whole animal thing. You know, some people are fucking weird about let me get a goddamn panda, let me get a panda skin fucking
Yeah,
coat or a fucking rug or some bullshit. But it's like a illegal shit. But or I don't know if that is, but I'm sure some bullshit. But like
right.
that's another way to differentiate yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's a way. That's a way. I mean, you could definitely go that way. But not I definitely know what you're saying though. But that's what I'm saying. You always got to find some way, but
Was
I probably wouldn't go that way. But no, I definitely know what you mean though, because a lot of people
but
be tripping off
still
that.
and like the thing is that like if if not for people like that would I don't condone like getting fucking panda skins and shit like that.
Yeah,
But if not for the
yeah,
people, if not for the brands that have the panda skins and shit,
yeah,
then who like and as consumers we look at a panda skin coat or whatever, and most people would be like, "What the fuck? Like, how
yeah,
dare
yeah,
they?"
yeah, yeah.
But then the consumerism kicks in, and they're like, "Shit, that costs money, and like I don't have that, but
No
I
one
want
has
it."
that. No
Like
one has
nobody has that,
that.
and I kind of want that, like, because I want to stand out.
Yep.
So it's
That's another way to differentiate yourself. But I
of
feel I
course,
definitely get
like
the point. No, I definitely know. But what
yeah.
what what did you think that you'd be doing 10 years ago? What did you think you'd be at like right now? Like like you're a kid obviously. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Honestly, like I didn't really even know what I wanted to do. Like as a kid, like I was always just like, yeah, I'm a kid. I'll figure it out when I'm later.
Yeah.
Like yeah, later on comes and I mean, I'm figuring it out day by day. But I like take even like when I was back in high school, like if I looked at myself 20, almost 21 next month, I don't think I would be expecting myself to be where I'm at right now. Like not as if it's a bad thing, but like I was expecting myself to go to college, for like accounting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At this point, like music was not really like something like a passion of mine.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, I'm just making music just to make some music, just have fun with it, and then I'll go play video games. I don't even play video games anymore. So,
I know that's where you
but
met Ethan, right? That's he
yeah,
hooked up. He hooked up
yeah,
the whole interview.
yeah. He actually I've met Ethan on I think I actually also met him on Twitter. Um,
he
but
was
yeah,
he was supposed
like
to he was gonna do that this interview with me today, but um it's been raining here a lot, so their basement got flooded with a bunch of fucking water, so he couldn't make it. He had to vacuum it up or I don't know some shit, but
yeah,
he couldn't make it. I was like, fuck, man, for real. But
yeah.
he was texting me a minute ago. He's like, yeah, send it to me. But I'll send it to him later or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, good luck to him, man. Shit,
Yeah,
those
no shit.
it's just no joke.
Yeah, no, man. Fuck. But
But
What you were saying though, you were saying you used to play you'd make a song and then go play games and you didn't really think much of it, right?
Yeah, like I would make like when I first started out, I made like meme songs, like just like
Fucking
songs like as
around.
a joke. Yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
literally, because like my persona on Twitter was just more of like this person that was just like straight up a troll. Like he just wouldn't like take shit seriously. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna take music seriously. Ha, here you go, listen to this. And then
Yeah.
people are fucking with it, and they're like, damn, this is good. And I'm like, what do y'all mean this is good? Like,
What was it like Minecraft parodies or what?
nah. Nah,
uh,
it was like it was like I think when I first started out, like I was just making um like joke raps about like myself and shit like that.
oh,
Just like
okay.
like making myself like the butt of the joke kind of shit. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people were fucking with it. And then like they were like, yo, if you like stop making like if you start taking your music seriously, don't take yourself too seriously, but like start taking your music seriously and
Yeah.
like, you know, um, you could yeah, like it could actually be like pretty good. And then I was like, do I want that?
Yeah.
And then like I started seeing people actually like enjoy my music, and I was like, wow, like people are enjoying something I created. Like I just did this,
It
and
is, it's a good feeling.
yeah, and like people are actually like, you know, enjoying it to the point where like they add it to their playlist or whatever. And I'm like, wow, that's that's special enough for me.
It is. Yeah.
So,
I know. I
but
feel
yeah,
that, man. I really do. So you said you have like your top account has like 18,000 on Apple Music, or what'd you say?
yeah. On Apple Music, it's got I think it's around 18,000. Um,
That's a
and
good
that's
number
just
right there.
from. It's pretty solid. I want to get my Spotify numbers up though, just because as far as growing as an artist, um, Spotify has always been the spot to,
Yeah.
you know, they've always, whether or not they pay their artists correct or not, they've always got better communication with the fans, um, whether it be like playlist placements and stuff like that. Apple Music doesn't have that kind of user
Yeah.
connection and user base. It's just like, all right, well, you take whatever Apple gives you, and then that's it.
How the hell did
So,
you, or, so I mean, you started doing it, what, 2 or 3 years ago, your music? You said on, or like,
yeah.
when did you make your Apple account? Like,
I had posted, or so I had, I think if I'm not mistaken, I posted um my most popular song at the time. It's called Kiwi.
hmm
It was my most popular on SoundCloud. Like it was just getting a lot of buzz. So I ended up buying the exclusive rights to the beat.
yeah.
I paid like I forgot how much, but like I bought the beat. I added a second verse to it, and I cleaned up the mix, and then I put it on Apple Music, and that beat or that song had gotten it got I think before I had dropped my full length album with the song on it, it had like 1,000 plays. So like only
Yeah.
on Apple Music and Spotify. So like it was good for what it was, but like I had nothing else on my Apple Music to show for it. So like people wouldn't like they would add it to their playlist, but that's it. Like
Yeah.
it's not like they would look on my page and go check out my other music because then they could just go on SoundCloud for that. So, um, but yeah, when I had dropped my first album, that's when I got a majority of my Apple Music buzz.
Oh yeah, I mean that's for just starting. I mean, fuck, that's a pretty good number. I'd say that's a pretty high number. 18,000. Fuck. You said followers, right?
No, just streams.
Oh,
I think
streams.
on
Yeah, still
yeah,
that's good, man. That's pretty fucking
thank
good,
you.
you know. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
man. That's a good number to have. I mean, just from just fucking starting, you know.
yeah. Like I have no expectations with this music stuff. my goal, my dream is just pretty much like, if I can get to the point where I can make a livable wage doing my music and like, I can have a fan base where they're expecting music from me and like they're interacting with me and they're engaging with me. Say if it's like 1,000 followers or whatever, 1,000 followers, or well, I know that's not enough to get like a livable wage off of your music, but even then, I would be happy. I'm content with where I'm at right now. It's
Yeah.
just like I don't know. I don't think my followers like well, I don't know what my followers want right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's in part a disservice to me and a disservice to them just
Yeah.
because, you know, I just want to do the best for everybody.
Yeah.
And
Especially
if,
yourself, man.
yeah, so,
Where would you
but
like to be in 10 years then? From now, I mean.
if, so I would love to be doing music like as a full time thing. Like, if I could be 30 years old and like I've already got an established fan base of however many people, and you know, I can just straight up just be myself. Hopefully, by the time that like 10 years has gone by, like the COVID and shit like that isn't a thing
Yeah.
where like concerts are able to be played and stuff. Like if I can just go out and have fun, like every day of my life, where I'm not like doing crazy shit, but like just having fun. I
Have you
can go on the internet and see my fans and just engage with them. That's all I would do.
That's dope. Have you done any shows or anything like that yet?
I've done a couple underground spots
Yeah.
up in Connecticut. Um, when I was living in Connecticut, I had went to this one place, um, and I performed like 3 or 4 times. I think like maybe the most that was at a show was like 30 people,
Yeah.
which is not bad,
Yeah,
honestly.
no.
Like you gotta start somewhere, but you know,
Yeah.
30
You def
people in a room, like you can feel the energy.
yeah, you mean you really do. I mean, that's just a whole new set of fucking ears that are gonna be aware of your music now. Or know that you're
Of
out there, you
course,
know what I'm saying? You gotta take the shows that no one else will, you know? I mean, you gotta fucking you take any opportunity you can fucking get and put yourself out there, so people will become aware of you and know who the fuck you are. Even if it is
of
two
course.
fucking people, 30 people, you know what I'm saying? One day it's gonna be 100 fucking thousand motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, that
You gotta think
was
like that. That's how you gotta think, man.
yeah, and like the first thing that I learned, like when I first performed, I've always been a shy kid. Um,
Yeah.
like quiet kid, high school, never talked to anybody. Middle school, I had like, you know, um, but when I had the mic in my hand, and like, I don't know if this stemmed from like, you know, me feeling like I just never had a voice throughout my life or whatever. Um, the first time I had uh, my show, I was like, I felt like I can completely be myself because all the eyes are on me.
Yeah.
And, you know,
You got
I went
everyone's
out and like,
attention.
yeah, I felt like I killed that show.
Yeah.
I they could tell that there was passion because, you know, even though it was the first time me being in front of, I don't even remember how many people were there, but like just the fact that I was able to pretty much show that I'm like just so eager about performing and like passionate in my vocals and in my like engagement with the crowd. It's the energy you thrive off of. That's you can see it.
Oh yeah,
So
that's for damn sure. What was going through your head when you first stepped up on that motherfucker? When you got up on that stage, what was going through your head?
I was like, finally, Like,
Finally.
yeah, like I felt like I was literally performing in front of like a crowd of 100,000 people. Cause you know what, like I had I went to Day in Vegas in 2019 November. I was front row for all my favorite artists. I saw Juice World literally a month before he died. I saw like all of like my favorite artists, all the popular artists front row, and I could see how they were performing. I have like countless videos of the what's it called, the performances, and like I would just watch, and I remember them like the back of my hand because I remember how I felt when I saw it, and when I'm performing, I just think to myself like, okay, what would these artists that have 40,000 fans right in front of them screaming do
Yeah.
in my position? You know what? Like they have like all the eyes are on me. Now what? And
Yeah.
when you have all the eyes on you, then everything you do, everybody can see. But what you don't do,
Yeah.
people can see more.
It makes sense. I mean, that's fucking awesome. I mean, it's an incredible fucking thing. So how do you what do you do to like invest in your music and shit? Like obviously your time and your fucking mental, you know what I'm saying, your mind. But I
Right,
mean like so what do you do like to put money or I mean just anything. I mean time and your mind basically all that.
right. Usually, I mean, I try and like always keep my mind on music. My mind is always like telling me bad stuff, so it'll tell
Oh
me
shit.
like, I'll just stop making music because like you know you you don't see any results right now, but like you'll
Patience.
never see it anymore. Like,
Yeah.
and I see like one thing that I've learned is that we hate the process, but we love to see our progress.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, when you're able to, um, push through these dark times of just like, a slump of whether it be creativity or just like, you're in a really depressive state, if you could just put out something or like work on something, even if it's for 20 minutes instead of your typical 2 hours or whatever you put into it,
Yep.
you're still putting something into it.
Yeah.
So, um, you know, I would say, um, as far as like investing money, I haven't been too good about it. I should though, because I have the money for it. But like, I want to put money towards like the produce, not the producing, the promotion of like
Yeah.
my stuff.
That's what I was
Um,
gonna ask you. How do you? I mean, that counts. That's invested in your music. I mean, what do you do to promote it? Like, how do you get your shit out there like that?
so my number one fan base is definitely on my Twitter.
Yep.
Go check me out. Local Lil Chrxs, LOKO Lil Chrxs. Um, so you know, I've I just pretty much engage with my fans so much to the point where like, you know, they feel like, you know, that they're kind of maybe doing their part
Yeah, by
as like
checking it
a
out.
fan. Yeah. So um, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But as long as it's being there, then
Yeah,
I have no issue with that. But I do want to get into, taking advantage of like Facebook advertisements, Instagram
I do
ads.
that. Yeah, I
Um,
do them. They're pretty good.
yeah.
They
How are
reach a
they
lot more
doing?
people. Well, basically, you just pay. I do $20, and you set up how many days you want it to go, and then it'll reach a certain amount of people, and they can like it, or it asks you, you want more people that are most likely to like it, or do you want to reach a shit ton of fucking people or get DMs. But that's basically how it works. I mean, they'll reach out to the more money you put in, the more people it's going to reach out to. So
Of
I mean,
course.
basically that's what you do. I mean, how does the Twitter thing work? You said do you have to put any money on when you promote on Twitter, or do you just like kind of DM, or do you just post it on your page?
It's honestly situational. With like with my page, it's more of like um, just kind of jokes and shit like that. So,
Yeah,
um, whenever it gets like some kind of reach of like, say it's getting like a good amount of retweets or like a good amount of engagement, um, I'll reply to my original tweet with my music. Or I know when I dropped um, my project on Christmas, I had pinned my tweet, and I have like a couple of my followers that they're actually like really big into the like the Twitch streaming community and
yeah.
stuff. And they
Hmm.
have their specific followers and fans, and like they were retweeting it.
Shit.
So I think
Yeah.
like within like the first like week, I was at like 53,000 like impressions just
Fuck.
off of like, just not word of mouth, but like just seeing the tweet. And, when they see like the tweet and then a bunch of people like replying to the tweet and like a bunch of people liking the tweet and retweeting it, it gives it that like sense of like, all right, you know what? This is probably legit. Let me check it out. So,
Yeah, I see what you mean. That is pretty fucking dope. I mean, but it basically kind of is word of mouth, kind of. You know, it's technology, but it's technology word of mouth. But it's still
mm,
good, man. You did
yeah,
your my favorite song that I have on here that I like by you is Picture Frames, and that was like a collaboration you did with someone, right?
yeah, it is. That is with Cody Needs Help. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that song. Like when I remember a couple months ago, I was just on a flight from New
Yeah.
Orleans to Orlando. Like crazy story. Um, you know, regardless, I was just sitting there like throughout like the whole day. It was between this song, Picture Frames, and this unreleased song that I have called Paparazzi. I was just listening to the two of those back to back and just like for a good like almost 24 hours just
Damn.
because I was on some drugs, but I was I was listening to it like nonstop and just like damn, this is so good. Like this is something that when my typical fan or whatever, like as far as like my fan base, they don't recognize that song as um on that project as the best or like you know and the streams don't necessarily reflect it, but like I listened to it and I was having like these visions of like what I would do for like a little music video or like a little
Yeah,
visualizer.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm getting like these thoughts of like, probably like some like runway model kind of thing or like some really like thrown in with like really trippy like but dark like kind of you know because it's got like the lyrics like I don't want it because she dead to me, I don't want it because she dead to me. So like probably like some really edgy like visuals of like probably somebody like like I don't know what I can say on here because I don't know what gets monitored on
oh,
YouTube or
oh
but
yeah. I
like
don't know.
I
Yeah,
mean
you say whatever.
like
Yeah.
so like it was probably like somebody like getting like stabbed or some shit like that. Like it's just
Yeah,
like but
yeah,
like
yeah,
like in an artistic way. That's
yeah,
it
yeah,
like that. But
yeah,
like have it like be really creepy but like edgy and
yeah. I see what you mean.
like
Yeah, yeah,
nice like to look at to the point where it's like a beautiful like tragedy kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
look to it. And like that's what I kind of have on the song. The song is picture frames and it's pretty much like these picture frames are
yeah,
staring at me and like this is about a girl who is dead to me
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
in the pictures like it's pictures of us but she's dead to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm
I
not
like
explaining
that.
that too well, but yeah.
No, no, no. I see what you mean, though. I mean, I really like that you get that same shit as me. Like, you'll just listen to your shit over and over. Me, I'll look at my shit over and over. I'll get a beat, for my clothes, and I'll just model my T-shirt.
Hmm.
and I just like sit there and think, like I can really, do a little mini clips of this shit, of just me modeling it, like this one's like fucking, roll the dice or whatever, so I kind of thought, have a fucking at the beginning, have me rolling the dice or some shit, like a just dice, and then out of nowhere, it'd be like roll the dice, or some shit, like that. But I get that too, I'll just sit there and fucking think and think, and I have a visual in my head about this one specifically, because obviously you don't like with your songs, you're not gonna make a music video for every fucking song that you do, just the ones that really stand out, and then you can vision. And this right here, I definitely can vision me doing some shit like that. You
For
know?
sure. Yeah. And like one way of my creative process that I'm like trying to gear towards is like if I hear a beat that I like and I can kind of like envision, even if it doesn't have a music video with it, I can envision one.
Yeah.
And from there, that's when I make the song. I'll write and sing what I'm describing in a music video,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like you know, and even if the music video never comes out, that's even better because I'm describing this, this situation or whatever's going on within this soundscape,
Yeah.
and it just sounds that much more like intriguing because like it's not just like very surface level stuff like like she hurt me, like I'm sad, I'm gonna take some drugs, yada yada yada. Like if
Yeah.
I'm describing something in like a setting where it's just like completely out of the blue that like nobody would expect, and a scenario that is just so random, it's just different. Anybody could put their mind to like whatever the lyrics say. Like there's no defined
Yeah. Yeah.
um thing that you have to follow.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any music videos like out right now, or are you kind of just trying to work on one big one and your first big one? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't have any honestly out right now, but I have a lot of ideas for what I want to do, and like I think a reason why I haven't been able to like put out one,
Yeah.
which is like I said before, it's counterproductive to what I've said in the past, but like I want to make sure this one is right. Like my first video, I want to make it like 100% like, you know, this is going to be my first video and this is going to stand out uh, by doing this and this and that. Whether it be like if I invest $500 into the video or like nothing and I just do it all myself, then I want this to stand out and do it like be perfect. It has to be the right song, has to be the right, vibe, right everything before like I even think about dropping anymore. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, man, I feel that. Um, I would like to do some shit like that too, but I just kind of put my shit out too. I do a little bit of, because I mean they're like fucking 1 minute for my little clips that I do. I'll show off the shirt and shit and model it, but I definitely want to do like a big, make like maybe a 2 minute one, but like get it all professionally done too. That's kind of what I'm working on too. You know, I was also gonna ask you, do you have any I mean, obviously you have collaborations and shit, but do you do a lot of in-person collaborations, or are they all like, from people that are out of state with you?
I've done primarily like in person stuff, but I also have a lot of like out of state, like people that I don't personally know.
Yeah.
Um, I've made music with my friends up in Connecticut. Um, and then, you know, when like outside of them, I would make music with people from Twitter or like people that reach out to me on SoundCloud
Yeah.
or whoever. And honestly, like right now, I'm at a point where like, you know, I can like I'll collaborate with whoever because I
Yeah.
don't mind. Like it's all just for the love of the music. I have no
Yeah.
reason to, you know, to say, charge somebody like $100 for a feature or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
whatever people might think. Like, I'm just doing this
I
just to
could
do it.
I could definitely send you this artist that was, I just did an interview with yesterday. I mean, you're my third artist that I've done, for this, but I mean, fuck, I mean, if you want, you can check his shit out. Maybe you guys do a little collaboration. I mean, he's pretty dope too, man. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
because I forgot to ask him that too. I talked to him a little bit about it, but I think he'd be open to it. He's pretty fucking cool dude, man. He's from Colombia or fuck something like not Colombia. I don't know, somewhere I forgot. Something in Colombia though, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, he's pretty dope
Like
too.
the Spanish place, or
No, no,
Spanish
no,
place,
no,
the Spanish country,
no, no, not
or
there.
like
No, no, no.
DC.
Probably. I don't fucking know. Something like that, dude. I probably said it. I probably fucked up yesterday when I was talking about an interview. I said, "Oh, so you from Colombia?" He ain't from there. I don't remember, man. There's something like that. But I'll send you a shit, and you guys make. That'd be dope, though, man. If you guys fucking work together too, But that's pretty cool. But I bet the energy is a lot different, though. Like when you're in person collaborating versus when it's just online kind of shit.
Yeah, for sure. Because like the number one thing when you're collaborating with somebody in person, especially like if it's somebody that you feel like you know you're on the same like level with per
Yeah.
se. Like if you think you're on the same level with them, then the song kind of becomes like a competition.
Yeah.
Like
So
who
who
can
can do
outshine each
better?
other?
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily like a bad thing because guess who gets to win in the end? The fans and
Mhm.
yourself because you get to listen to this good song that you made with this
Yep.
person in the studio that like even if you're having this like little friendly competition, you're just both putting your best foot forward because you're trying to do better than your counterpart, and in turn you make a fucking hit.
Yeah.
That's why I like, I never have any issue with like, or like if anybody wants to collab with me, like I would love to collab with them because I love like, hey, I want to push people to their limits,
Yeah, yeah.
like, and I want people to push me to my limits.
Yeah,
So
and get you out that comfort zone, and just really get into it, and then boom, it's gonna be fucking great. Did you uh
sure.
did you have anything else, you'd like to add? Where can everybody find you? Like all your social medias.
Yeah. So you can find me on Twitter primarily. I'm on Twitter. Loco Loko Lil Chrxs Lilchrxs. I spelled my own name wrong. um, on on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, I am Go Crazy Lil Chrxs, which you know GOCRAZYLILCHRXS. You can find me on Apple Music and Spotify, SoundCloud, Lil Chris, right over here. Hold on a second, let me flip that.
Oh, there you go.
There,
Right
you
there.
know,
There's that ad. No, is
got a
this your
hundred,
Oh, go ahead.
got 121 followers, but who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe you could be the next one.
Yeah, I will.
Listen to that.
I think
Yeah.
I actually did follow you, but
Oh yeah,
what I was gonna say is this like your first, kind of little interview that you've done?
for sure. I've never
Yeah.
actually had like any actual like interview or like sit down kind of thing or
Yeah.
really even being on a podcast in general. I've always been like I've always thought to myself like I cannot see myself like talking a lot just because I'm a quiet person. But I find myself like it's fun to talk and just pretty much let you all like hear my insights.
Yep.
And I love listening to your insights as far as the same thing because we both share the same um, passion within our own regards and the same morals and drive
Yeah.
as far as our craft. And it's good because whoever might listen to this might be feeling the same way. We might
Exactly.
have somebody who's you know the next revolutionary designer or like artist, and
Yeah.
they're listening to this and they're like, damn, you know what, these people have gotten me uh like they're pretty much saying the same
Same shit.
thing
Yeah, your own thing.
like, and they're putting it into words that I can't. So
Yeah,
that's it.
that's what the podcast is though. It's about like people that are coming up, or it might be some people that are kind of established, but it's mainly people coming up. Either from me, being like a clothing design, a little mix of everything. You being a rapper. I talk to like mechanic business owners. What else have I done? Just other people that are just kind of like college kids, people in the fucking army. You know what I'm saying? I
Of course,
I do anybody, but it's all the same kind of morals and principles of what if you're trying to invest in yourself and come up. That's what it's all about. It's not a certain genre that I pick. I pick everybody. Like I said, you're my third artist that I had on here. That fucking dog. But that's you're the third fucking artist I got on here. you
yeah.
know.
Hey
But
man,
yeah.
look, as long as we're investing in ourselves, we
Mhm.
can do whatever we can because
Yeah.
investments. There's no such thing as a bad investment in yourself.
Yeah.
That
That's the
is
best.
true.
That's the best investment you can fucking
The
do,
best
actually.
investment. Yep, because that's an investment that you'll see a return on regardless of if it's money or if it's just lessons or whatever it might be. If you are
Yep.
putting that shit to yourself, then you are always gonna fucking win
Fuck yeah, man.
one way or
That's
another.
true. Yeah. I mean, that's the truth right there. Did you have anything you wanted to leave the people with or anything?
Hey man, if you know what you want to do in life, you have a plan, go get it. Because guess what? In a world of opportunities that are fleeting, you never want to let one slip. So, if you have an idea, if you have an opportunity, if you have whatever you want to do, take it. Take it
Fuck
right
yeah.
now. Do it and if you fall on your ass, you learn from it. You get back up and go. If you continue to roll with whatever you're doing and you are doing the right things, then more power to you,
Yep. It's all about making that vision a fucking reality.
of course.
Whatever vision you got to make that shit into a reality.
Of course.
But like I said, thanks for coming on, taking your time out of the day. You only got 24 hours, and you almost spent fucking two on this podcast. We almost did 2 hours, but we got to cut out that little shit, that when it
Yeah,
lagged
man.
out. But that was probably only like took like 10, 15, probably 10 minutes off, But I mean it's almost fucking hit 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So we did a pretty long one, man. It's just good meeting you and shit. You said your real name's Christopher, right?
Yeah.
My name's Adrian, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too,
Introduce
dog.
you at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, dog. Thank you for spending the time talking to me today because you know what? Like, I think this is a pretty successful podcast. We got a
Fuck
lot
yeah.
of stuff covered. A bunch of different insight, and
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully people could take something away from this.
Yeah. I plan to drop it probably, in a few weeks, because I drop one every fucking weekend. That's what I do, just
Right,
one podcast. Cause I don't really want to overwhelm myself. I want to have, some kind of content, once a week, So it'll probably be out in a few weeks, but it'll definitely fucking be out there, And I'll let you know.
for
I'll send
sure.
it to you first, But yeah, I mean, it's just great having you on, man. You good fucking guest, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I'll here. All right. Thanks for watching the IIY podcast. Here, let me end this real quick. Let's see.